Okay. Right. Um, I know some of you did this for homework and you watched the video and everything, but I want you to try this second one that I gave you yesterday. I want you to try that after watching me do this again. And I will mention some of the things that may help you on this one, on the second one that I handed out yesterday. If you weren't here yesterday, don't leave before getting one of these, okay? I won't do it now. I want to dive right in, okay? Okay, so we're supposed to fill in this chart. So we're going to rearrange the equation, then find the x and the y-intercept using our calculators and all of that stuff, okay? So just follow me for now. One thing that I need you to know is that if there's no x variable, don't come up with a x variable, okay? You don't need to add an x variable and vice versa. So it's just a horizontal or a vertical line. That's for the second version that you're going to get or that you already got, okay? So we get negative 5y is equal to the 3x comes over negative and the 30 stays, okay? Then you divide everything by negative 5 and it will be positive 3 over 5x and that's minus 6. So that's the equation that you're going to go with. And I'm going to rewrite them all first, okay? Then you have 3y is equal to negative 17x plus 45, divide everything by 3, y is equal to negative 17x over 3, 45 divided by 3 is 15, leave it at that, okay? Zoom in a little bit maybe. And then we have this one, 1.5 y is equal to 4.5 comes over positive. Please watch your signs, folks. Do not drop negatives. It's going to be very frustrating if you do that, okay? So this would be 3x plus, is that, yeah, that is 12, okay. There you go. And then this one here, which may or may not throw you off, I will show you how you would have dealt with this in IAPR, or I at least would have dealt with it like this. You see the 3's in the denominator? Multiply the whole thing by 3. Right? Just get rid of the denominators. If there had been a 3 and a 2, then you multiply everything by 6, right? So you want to get rid of that. Get rid of it. And so this gets you 2y plus x is equal to 12. So the 3 cancels out with those, but it doesn't cancel out for the 4, so you get 12. And then you get, I'm going to run out of room here, but we'll make it work. You get that. Dividing everything by 2 gets you y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 6. I apologize for that. So all of them are rewritten. So I will do this as if you were doing this at home, right? So I will just start with entering this into y1 and then slowly build. I will not erase anything. So 3 divided by 5, x minus 6. By the way, if you want to make sure you're not making a mistake, you can enter it like this, but then you have to be very careful how you type that in. I'm going to hit graph. I can go zoom 6. I'm going to do that right now. Zoom 6 because I'm fairly confident. Just change my window to, I'm going to increase the X max here to 20, let's say. And then I see my intercepts, which is the important part. So I'm going to find the intercept for the first one. X-intercept means that I have to go and make one of the lines equal to 0. I'm going to hit graph, and then it's second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. So you end up with 10, 0. My y-intercept, you can just trust this here that it's 0, -6, or you can actually go ahead and find it. It's up to you. So second trace 1, x is equal to 0. You get a -6 there anyways, right? Let me try something here. Is that better if it's darker like that? The calculator? Let's try that. Okay, so then when x is equal to -5, what's y? So they're giving me the x value. So I'm going to go second trace 1, x is equal to -5. How about we do this? At the very top of this handout, I'm just going to go second trace 1, just as a reminder. And this is going to be y2 is equal to ... because you don't know it changes, right? And then it's going to be second trace 5. Okay. Here, for x-intercept in particular, y2 is equal to 0, second trace 5. And for the y-intercept, second trace 1, x is equal to 0. So there it is. Let's do the second one. Oh, I said I wasn't going to erase it. Sorry, I'm going to redo this. Sorry, leave the first one there because we're going to find all the intersections of all these lines. So leave it there. When you do a worksheet like this, leave it. So let's do that one. -17 divided by 3, x plus 15. But now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to not graph the first one. So I'm going to deselect. So on my first equation, I'm going to deselect the equal sign so that it looks like that, right? And I'm going to hit graph. There it is. I need to increase my y max, right? Window, y max, I'm going to go 50. It's a little bit extreme, but it works, right? So to find the x-intercept, we're going to go y. Do we have a y2? We don't have it available, so just make the y3 equal to 0, and then hit graph. And there's that y3 line, right? Second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. So that's 2.6. What would it round to? 6.5, correct? There it is. Find the y-intercept. Second trace 1, x is equal to 0, and it's 15, which I expected. Then we have our, when x is equal to 3, they want to know what that is. So second trace 1, x is equal to 3, and it's -2. I know I didn't finish the other one. I will get there. And then for this one, I need to use y equals. I'm going to replace y3 with -4. And then hit graph. And there it is, right? So I'm going to find the intersection right there, and it's 3.35 positive. Okay. We finished the second one completely. I'm going to jump up to the first one. So go to your y equals, I will now deselect y2. I don't want that graphed. I'm going to go back to y1, turn it on, and it's asking me when x is equal to -5, right? And when y is equal to 12. Why don't we answer this here by changing y3 equal to 12, positive, hit graph. What's the problem there? X max, right? So window, and I'm going to go 50. And there, now I see it. Second trace 5. So I'm doing this a little bit in reverse order, moving up and down, just because that's going to happen to you. You're going to go, oh wait, oh wait, oh wait, right? And I want you to be able to do that. X is equal to -5. Second trace 1, you got to go -5. And it happens to just show up on the corner of my screen here. So it's -9. So I will just answer and fill that out. Next, y3. Do not erase. I did that on purpose, right? I made you type that into different y. So I'm going to clear y3. And you have it up here on the screen. So you got to go 3x plus 12. I will turn off y1 and y2 for now because I don't need it. And just graph y3. Perfect. It works out for me. X-intercept, I got to go y equals. I'm going to make y4 equal to 0 for this one. Graph them both. And find that intersection. Second, trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. It's -4, 0. Okay? Then for the y-intercept, I'm just going to go 0, 12 because I think you know already how to do that. And I'm trusting my work here. I will cover that like that. And then it's asking what's y when x is equal to 6. I'm going to do this all over again. Second, trace 1. X is equal to 6. Y is equal to 30. And because my window is set to 50 as the y max, it shows up. Okay. And then when y is equal to 9, what is x? So we got to go y. I'm going to replace the y4 is equal to 0 to 9. Hit enter, then graph. And there it is. Second, trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. It's -1. And one more. And then we have to do the hard part. This should be, by now, you should have figured this out. But then again, don't panic if you're still struggling, okay? So I'm going to enter this, bracket, -1 divided by 2x. Don't forget the x. I mean, usually you do want to, right? But don't, no, I'm serious here. A lot of students forget to put that variable, and then you're just gonna get a horizontal line because there's no x variable, okay? So please don't forget. Okay, +6. Graph. Oh wait, I didn't turn off my y3 because I don't want y3 right now. So I'm gonna hit graph again. That refreshes your screen. You have to hit graph. There it is. I'm going to go y equals. y5 is equal to 0. I'm going to graph these two at the same time. Second trace 5. Enter, enter, enter. You have 12, 0. I'm going to trust my work, and I'm just going to say that my y-intercept is 0, 6. But if you don't trust it, you just go ahead and type that in, and you get 0, 6 there too, right? If you use that function. X is equal to -12. Second trace 1, negative 12. What? No. So frustrating, right? What's the problem? This error is not very specific. Even if you go to, which is the second, it will complain about that negative, but we know it's negative. There's nothing wrong with it. It's that your x min is too small. It's trying to go to x min. Yeah, see? Yeah. So this is where the homework, this is where I can see who did the homework, right? Okay, so x min what? Negative 20. Okay. Now let's try that again. Second trace 1, negative 12. 12 it is. Now it can see it on your screen. Sometimes it allows you to, but most of the time it will complain. Okay, so next, y is equal to 15. I'm going to change that to 15 and graph it. And I can see it, barely, but I can see it. I know it's, let's try it. Second trace 5, enter, 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 and it's negative 18. This concludes this section, but let's make sure we understand what we just did, okay? When you did these two columns here, you were actually finding points, okay? You were finding a point on the line. So basically you were finding negative 5, negative 9. You were finding 3, negative 2. You were finding 6, 30. You're finding negative 12, 12. Okay? Over here, you got to be careful. When x is equal to 30, y was 12. When x is equal to 3.35, y is equal to negative 4, and so forth. If you remember that you're actually finding coordinates to a point, it helps you understand what's happening. Okay? All right. Now the fun part. This is the fun part. Find the intersection of lines y1 and y2, y1 and y3, y1 and y4, and so forth. Okay? So grab your calculators, go to y equals, and they should all be in there right now. I will turn off or clear y5. I don't need y5. Okay, I'm done with it. Clear that. Just have 1 to 4. So which are the two that I'm going to turn on now? 1 and 2, right? Oops. 1 and 2. This is just one way of doing it. I will show you later on how you can actually do it all at the same time. But it's, to me, there's more room for error. Okay, graph them. And can you see them? Yes, you can. Second trace 5. Close your eyes. Enter, enter, enter. And I'll show you what the coordinates are. You're supposed to get that. So let's just go and write this down. 3.35 and negative 3.99. You got to be careful with the rounding if you want full marks, okay? Because it's 989, that 9 bumps that to a 9, okay? Okay, 1 and 3, so we go to y equals. I leave 1 on, turn off y2, but turn on y3. And then I hit graph. You can't really see them. Let's try it. I will just try it, because as long as you find it, oops, my bad, second trace 5, enter, enter, enter. Yeah, it actually did it. So it's negative 7.5, negative 10.5. Write that down. I will ask you down the road to write down the keystrokes, but this is, it's right now it's so repetitive, it's all the same, right? Y1 and Y4, go ahead and do that. Turn off Y3, turn on Y4. And there it is. second trace 5, just hit enter, 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 right? That's why I want you to only have 2 lines at a time, because then you can do that over and over again, okay? Write that down, 10.91, and it's 0.55. So now you just have to be very careful reading your, now once the intersection between y2 and y3. So you press y equals, turn off y1, turn off y4, just turn on y2 and y3. Hit graph. There it is. Second trace 5, enter, 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 and it's 0.35, and it's 13.04. I strongly encourage you to follow with your calculators just in case an error shows up that you're not comfortable with. I'll turn off y3, turn on y4. Graph, and there it is. Second trace 5, enter, 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 1.74 and 513. One more, y3 and 4. There it is, second trace 5, enter, 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 negative 171 and 6.86. So there you have your intersections. Now you need a ruler. We're going to graph, right? All at the same time. And we're going to label these on the graph as well, all the intersections. And I purposely put them side by side so it's a little bit easier to graph, right? The handout has a different format to do this. You'll see a table. Did you see that table? Do you know what I'm talking about? Same thing that we did here, but it just figured it'd be easier to organize it in a table, okay? So how we're gonna graph, folks? Use your intercepts, okay? And label right away. That's what I would do. So 10, 0, I'm reading off the intercepts. Okay, and this has scales and everything. The only thing this doesn't have is arrowheads here on all 4 sides. And it doesn't have x-axis and y-axis. You need to add that, okay? Put an x on this end and a y at the top. So 10, 0 is right here. And 0, negative 6 is right here. Extend it fully, okay? Don't just connect the 2 dots. Make sure your ruler goes past, okay? Because otherwise you might miss an intersection if you don't. Arrowheads on the ends. I'm gonna go a little, so the intercepts you don't need to label, okay? Like the x and the y-intercept, because I can tell clearly. Just make sure on one end, I will use this end at the bottom, I will label this right away. Y is equal to 3 over 5x minus 6. So you can't see that, but I just added the label down here, watch. Right, then you know this line, that's the line I'm talking about. If you want to put y1 also there to help you, you can do that. Next is 2.65, so that 2.5 would be right here. So 2.65 is a little bit over. And then it's 0.15. That's up here. And you connect those. Extend way past, okay? And this is my line, y is equal to negative 17 over 3x plus 15. How about this? I'll put y1 here and y2 here. It might make it a little bit easier to distinguish. What's my next one here? I'm blocking it to camera. -4, 0, and 0, 12. -4, 0, and 0, 12 is right there. And I'm going to make sure that I cross both lines. So you cross one there, and you cross another one down here. I will call this y3 is equal to and that is 3x plus 12. That's way up there. Okay. And the last one is, I'm just lifting the camera once here, folks, sorry, 12, 0, and 0, 6. 12, 0 is out here. 0, 6 is up here. And connect your and I'm going to call this y4 is equal to -1/2 x plus 6. What I will do perhaps is mark all the points of intersection. I'm going to mark those with orange. So there's one here. There's one here, here. There's one here. There's one here, here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is how many I just found. And those I want you to label. So you can do one of two things. You can actually just look at the coordinates and see which one makes sense to be in that specific spot. So this is in the 12s here. So this is probably, yeah, this is probably 0.35 and then 13.04. So I check that off. And then this one, there's a negative x here, 6.86. So this is it, -171, 6.86. This one is something in the 5s. This is 1.74, 513. And this one here is in the 11s and just under 1. So this is 10.91055. Check that off. This has a negative y value and it's just over 3. So this is 3.35 and then negative 3.99. Last but not least, this one is negative 7.5 and it's negative 10.5. So I just went by which coordinates made more sense for that instead of figuring out where's y1 and y2, right? I just went, I have the list of coordinates right here and I just see which one makes more sense there. How are we doing? Are we at least 80%? 80% there? Okay. One last thing, okay? If you are adventure, you like, you know, high risk adventure kind of thing, you turn everything on. and you graph them all at the same time, right? And I will bring my window down a little bit. My Y min, I like that to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to go -30 maybe. Or no. Yeah, we'll be fine there, -30. And then you hit graph again. And it should resemble what you have on your paper. So let's say you want to find that one right there, which is this one on my paper. You follow, right? I go second, trace 5. Do that with me, but don't hit enter. Just second, trace 5. If you want to jump to that line, either the red or the black, I'm going to go to whichever comes first. I'm going to go arrow up until right now. Did you see that as I went up, the writing turned black here? That means that you are on the black line right now. So you have to use sideways arrows to kind of make it appear. And I look at the coordinates to guide me where I'm at, because not right now, it's way out there somewhere. But when I keep on scrolling left, it shows up again on your screen. So let the coordinates guide you as you go left or right. Anyways, you go close to that intersection you want, you hit enter. Now you got to jump to which line? The red one for me, right? So I'm going to go arrow up. That I'm on the black one, arrow up again. Now I'm on the red one. So just go as close as possible. That's close enough, and then hit enter and guess. And you should get the same thing that I just have here. So you let me make sure you understand. You could have started on the red one, hit enter, and then jump to the black one for your second line, and then guess, hit enter again, and it will find it. But you have to be careful, right, what you're doing here, because it can get overwhelming. But some of you might find it faster doing it that way. So let's say you want to find this one here, which is on my paper, this one. Then you got to go second, trace 5. Yeah, blue is what I want. So I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to jump until I get to the black line, which is right there. Hit enter and guess again, and I get the same coordinates as I have on my paper. So you choose what you want to do. Just graph 2 at a time, find intersection, graph them all at the same time. Just be careful where you're jumping to, okay? Now, this is what I want you to work on for the rest of today, and I want you to make sure you do this, right? I gave you that second version of this. You essentially do the same thing, but be careful. I warn you, these last two are special vertical / horizontal lines.